You're listening to Small Business Talk with Jerry. Sit in on great conversations with entrepreneurs who risk everything chasing the American dream.
Hello, everybody. Jerry again with Small Business Talk with Jerry, part of SBR Group. Check us out on joinsbrgroup.com. Today we're here with Jeremiah Prigge. Jeremiah, thanks for coming in.
You bet.
Jeremiah's going to touch on our member spotlight. And what the member spotlight is, we're just going to, every meeting that we have, we're going to have the SBRG 50, we call it. That was Jeremiah's brainchild. Tell us a little bit about that, Jeremiah.
Yeah, well, I guess the SBRG 50 is a group of questions. And I guess to explain it of why, I will tell you how I came up with it. Kudos to author Harvey Mackay.
There we go.
Who, I guess, going to a seminar, watching Harvey speak back in 2005 down in Winona, Minnesota. I got turned. That was my first experience with networking. Got turned on to his Mackay 66. Now, if you don't know who Harvey Mackay is, he owned an envelope company in Minneapolis, I believe, and there's other neat, interesting things about him, so seek him out. But he also wrote a book called Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive, and then Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah,
so
the titles are pretty cool. But anyways, he has the Mackay 66, and the premise behind it is you sat down with your potential client, and you took notes on them, their kids, their spouse, things that were important to them.
Sure.
And so, anyways, that's where I came up with the SBRG 50. And that member spotlight that we're going to do in our chapter meetings, again, focus on that priority shift, something a little bit different than what maybe a lot of networking groups do or are used to. But it's a one-on-one interview between the co-host and the member. And the co-host will email out the SBRG 50. As a member, you're going to go through that, and you're going to pick some questions that you feel comfortable asking, because there's going to be some in there you might not pertain. So, and I really think maybe 12 questions, and we might, and you're going to email them what numbers them questions are back to the co-host, which ones and you're going to be prepared for them answers, or to answer them. And
so it's
then,
kind of like a one-sided political debate. Sorry.
Yeah,
I had to throw it in there.
Yeah.
I just had to say
You knew I wanted to say
I knew
something.
you did.
But no, anyways, politics aside.
But you'll know the questions that are coming.
Yes.
I mean, the point here, I suppose, is just not, you're not to put anybody in the spot.
Yeah, I don't want to catch you off guard.
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
we want to learn about
situation.
you. It's a 7-minute interview.
Yeah.
And we want to make the most of that 7 minutes. And so the questions are going to be there. And right now we just got it as SBRG 50. It might become SBRG 150 someday, because we'll think of more questions.
Right.
And
I'm sure you as members, you guys will offer up more questions, things you want to know.
Certainly hope so. And, it'll also be a time where, ultimately we'll get 12 questions. We'll maybe get through 5 or 6. So we're not going to be able to probably have time to answer all of them, because we're really hoping that there's going to be a story.
Limit. It'll be a time limit thing, right? We're going to ask as many questions we can within
7 minutes.
7 minutes. Okay.
Yep, 7 minutes. That's what we're figuring.
Okay.
It'll be a time to again spotlight. It's a time for you to shine of who you are on a personal level. There's 4 different subcategories in there.
Okay.
One of them would be education. One of them would be lifestyle. One of them would be business experience and background. That obviously in a networking group is the most important, maybe.
Right.
But at the same time, when we're building relationships, let's just say in that interview, find out you like to go downhill king. I'll use Craig, because we know Craig likes to go downhill
leg breaking.
Downhill leg breaking, yeah. Downhill snowball making, right? But Craig likes to go downhill skiing. Well, if another member, when he's getting interviewed, another chapter member out there does downhill skiing, that's good. That's a great icebreaker for that handshake and hello. Yeah. That they're going to have off-site.
That's another thing we need to talk about at some point here. We need to do a quick little module on handshakes and hellos.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So, and then special interests. What interests you?
Back to politics again? Special interests?
You certainly can. If that's what you want to talk
about.
That's
what you want to talk about.
Yep. I mean, we all know that you're going to alienate half the country. But who ultimately it's part of who we are.
It is.
And there's nothing. I love everybody.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody.
Not
I have an ex, so
Yeah.
so. But no, it's so honestly, it's how you connect. If somebody talks politics and you're not a politic guy,
Yeah.
then you know what, that handshake and hello, you still should do it.
Right.
But it's going to be maybe a little shorter.
Right.
Right. I've had handshakes.
Well, you can't be afraid to tell somebody, not interested in that.
Right.
Let's talk business. Let's talk about your kids. Let's talk about downhill skiing.
Right. Right. I've had handshakes and hellos though that I've learned things about people that's where friends and other members become friends.
Well, once I find out, after you and I have known each other for a while and we have some similar interests, once I find out that I can relate to you and vice versa, that's where the relationship really happens.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody can say the handshake and the hello. If you're an adult male, that's how you should start every relationship, is with a handshake and a hello.
Yep. And, really what it comes down to, again, relationship building, making friends. If I'm going to refer somebody, it's going to be based off of somebody that I know, that I trust, that I know does good business, that does what they say they're going to do, that they follow up. So all that pertains into the SBRG 50, really to, spotlight the member.
Yeah.
I honestly, that's the big thing, and that's in every chapter.
Yep. Every
week
chapter will do this.
It'll rotate through different members. I know some people are going to be gun shy and not want to do it. I will tell you there too. That's part of what we are trying to help teach.
Public speaking.
Is that public speaking.
Amen.
Just getting comfortable. Again, I'm sitting in front of a microphone. Yes, my third one now. Everyone's butterflies because you get worried. Am I going to forget to say something, or is there going to be that silent moment? Well, there's not.
I'm not letting him do retakes. That's the other thing. That's making him nervous.
These are one and done. but really, it comes passion.
It does.
If you're passionate about what you do, you want to talk about what you do. Yep. And if you want to talk about what you do, you want to educate about what you do and who you are. And again, it just all comes down to building relationships.
It does.
And learning about the other members.
Now, that's our member spotlight. We're really going to focus on the member, the person.
Yep.
Would you come back and do a quick piece on the business spotlight, which is about the business?
Yeah. That's the other part of it, and we won't crack that one open yet. We'll save that because that's another 8 minutes.
Absolutely. Well, Jeremiah, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Yes.